Hi, my name is Brendan Dahl, and I'm going to be taking you on a journey through the past, present, and future of Germantown High School.
My name is David Young. I'm the Executive Director of Cliveden, which is a National Historic Landmark owned by the National Trust for Historic Preservation. Germantown High School was a path-breaking institution in Germantown and one of the largest high schools in the city when it was built in 1914.
Germantown High School was open for 99 years, serving at its peak 3,000 students from the Mount Airy, Chestnut Hill, and Nicetown, Tioga parts of Philadelphia. It is now an abandoned building, sitting dormant in Germantown, gathering dust. So what happened? And what's next for the building? Oh, thank you. Whose hands should its future belong in?
Its closure in 2013 has left an irreparable hole in our community, including in the work of organizations like mine. I know that Germantown High School had many challenges in the early 2000s.
In the 60s, Germantown High School began to slowly decline. White flight, or the move of white city dwellers to the suburbs to escape the influx of minorities, had begun to reshape the economic situation in Germantown, and many students were flocking to private institutions or smaller neighborhood schools.
In this century, in my work in Germantown in the last 15 or 16 years, it always seemed like there was a new principal at the school, so it was easy to understand that there were challenges. That said, we worked very hard with specific administrators, history teachers, music teachers on a variety of programs. The Germantown Friends Choir came and sang in the Germantown High School auditorium in April 2011 as part of this recreation. And when the Germantown Friends folks come, people were walking around in this hall saying, "What a beautiful auditorium. How come I've never known this was here?"
I'm like 3 or 4 blocks away. Racially speaking, I think there's definitely a divide. I would say even socioeconomically speaking, there's a divide. I think Germantown is very diverse, and people of different groups and different categories walk around through all parts of Germantown, so I see a lot of people of diverse backgrounds, but I think in terms of the people that are living on my block, there's definitely a difference between that community and stereotypically the people that live around Germantown High and go to Germantown High.
The school lasted for many years, until the city of Philadelphia began to have an academic budget crisis. In 2013, Philadelphia Public School Notebook reported that GHS was using just 31% of its building, with 2/3 of the space sitting empty and unutilized. Later that year, the economic burden of the school became too much for the city to handle, and a vote by the School Reform Commission closed GHS and 22 other schools down.
I feel like we got a lot of new teachers who came into the Philadelphia educational system. Really lighthearted, really tried to do well. They were met with lack of resources and lack of opportunity. So the top floor was never used in my whole time in Germantown. So the top floor, we thought the top floor, there was a few times that I've ever got to see the top floor of Germantown High School. One time I was escorting ambassadors around the school, 2 Nepali ambassadors around the school. Took a trip to the top level of the high school by accident, and I seen basically what would be considered the first scene of a horror movie. Like, that's the best way to kind of describe it. Another part of the high school, which was the back part of the high school, and what we consider the older part of the high school, wasn't being used either.
The building has been on the market since 2014. It is currently owned by the Concordia Group, a Maryland-based holding firm. Ken Weinstein, the president of Philly Office Retail, is interested in the property and has stated that he wants to build a new school and make it more academically appealing. Many spokespeople, including that of Cindy Bass, the representative councilwoman of Germantown, believe its fate should rest in the hands of the community.
Germantown High and Fulton schools were for sale for several years. Eventually, Concordia stepped up and agreed to buy 6 schools all at once, including the 2 in Germantown. I don't know who the new buyer is, but Concordia did flip these properties. The reality of it is Concordia was not particularly interested in these 2 Germantown schools, but were encouraged by the school district to buy them in addition to the other 4 that Concordia did want to buy and redevelop. It's quite possible that the new buyer, if they don't know Germantown well, will flip the properties again. And who knows, maybe I will get the opportunity in the end to redevelop these properties. But the future use of these properties is not obvious. The Fulton School lends itself to maybe being multifamily housing. It's about 80,000 square feet. It's in much better condition than Germantown High School, so that's a possibility for the future. I think Germantown High School is so large and so unwieldy that it's going to be harder to find that right use.